All right. So, I've been kind of lurking on this project for a while, right? Because to be honest, it looked absolutely amazing. And then I came across this, unfortunately, sad news today. Now, these guys, they're called Uppercut Editions, LLC. Fan team that created the one and only unofficial Kombat Kompendium, right? And they have released a statement today, so we'll just sort of go through it. After what has been quite some time for all of us, we want to break the silence regarding the current state of the project. Following the Kickstarter, the Kompendium went through a lengthy and drawn-out review process with Warner Brothers. However, in the end, it was made very clear that they were against any attempts to move forward with the project in any way possible, no matter what alterations we offered to make. As a result of their stance regarding the Kompendium, we realized that we would not be able to proceed without risking a possible dispute. It is a real disappointment that no form of cooperation was accepted, as we were genuinely happy to work with Warner Brothers to move forward with the project, which we have put so much passion and effort into, and that they have been aware of for quite some time. It was amazing seeing the community come together and join us in backing the Kompendium that we were putting together from our hearts, and we truly thank each and every single one of you for your support. For the moment, we're putting the Kompendium on the back burner, and we will begin work on our next project. We will let you know. We will let you all know should there be any changes regarding the future of the Kompendium. I'd love to be able to have a chat to these dudes. I think if you guys watch this video and you want to come on the Down Back to Block podcast, we'll have a chat. Because I got some shit I want to fucking say, right? I'm going to say it right now. Warner Brothers fucking dick, right? Like, Warner Brothers is just fucking shit, right? It is like the worst constipation imaginable, you know? And this news worries me, right? And I know it's a completely different project, I get that, but this worries me for the fate of the possible Mortal Kombat Trilogy remake, which looks incredible, right? So I don't really know, like I don't know sort of any sort of legal constraints, but I'm going to just spitball some ideas out there, because quite frankly, right, it's just like Warner Brothers is just the fucking worst, man, right? You know, they're up there with like EA and shit, you know. In fact, it seems like Warner Brothers has taken a leaf out of Nintendo's book and just basically going, nah, unless we're making it, unless we got, you know, unless we're doing it from, you know, inside the studio, inside the company, eat a dick. Now, I've seen some pictures of this thing and it looks amazing, right? It really does look absolutely fantastic, right? You know, a lot of detail has gone into it. Essentially, the Combat Bible. But you know, how would you get around it? Like, because the reality is though, right? And this is the unfortunate side of it, because obviously you can't make money, right? This is the downside of being massively interested and being in a position where you know you could do something amazing, like the Kompendium, like Mortal Kombat Trilogy Remake, and then, you know, the company's just like, we don't fucking care. Like, man. Now, you guys have watched me review a few Mugen projects on here. There are some Mugen projects I have not reviewed yet, which are fucking stellar, right? And the reason why I bring them up is because, and I say this with all sincerity, do not let these motherfuckers stop you from doing what you want to do, even if it's free, right? There are such things as donations, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is though, is that like, people have been creating and have had for decades now, however long Mortal Kombat's been out, One of the first being Total MK, who I've met a few times. He's a fucking great dude. You know, where they have a website like MK Secrets, a massive, essentially a digital compendium, if you will, of any and all sort of Mortal Kombat related stuff. Everything from imagery, soundtracks, PNG files, info on the game, special moves, all sorts of shit. It's just everything Mortal Kombat related, you're there. And this happens with any and all games out there. You'll always get these like fan sites that do all this work, right? So this kind of, this, like I said, this worries me, especially in the MK Trilogy remake part. So might I humbly suggest is that you don't give up. Keep working on it, keep doing it, and if possible, release it for free. With the ability to accept donations, of course, right? Because they can't get you for that, as far as I know, right? Because if they took down your compendium, which essentially would be the equivalent, I'm assuming, as a massive PDF file, then they would have to take down every single Mortal Kombat website on the internet. Because they would have, and I don't mean any disrespect for this from when I say this, but they would have a fuck ton more shit on their websites than you would have in your book. Because they would be having things like soundtracks and, you know, all sorts of things like that obviously you can't put in a fucking book. And you can't listen to it, right? You can see the names of the songs in the soundtrack, but you can't listen to them, right? I would not be giving up. I would not be, I would go, okay, so we can't sell it. But there are a lot of ways to skin a cat. Right? You know, and that's the thing, like, the Mugen projects, like going back to that, right? The Mugen projects have been pumping out stellar releases free, right, of Mugen games. And the reason why they can't sell these games is because the Mugen engine, you know, is it's obviously copyrighted for like, you know, 75 fucking thousand billion years or however long it is, right? So you can't sell it if you use Mugen. Like, you can't do that, right? But they release them all the time. And nobody, you know, Warner Brothers ain't taking down these Mortal Kombat versions, right? To be honest, I wouldn't be giving up, right? I know the end goal is to make money. I get that and I respect that. But I think sometimes you come across something that you want to create and you're really good at it and you know that it's just absolutely worth finishing, right? And you know, there are so many ways to a degree around this, which, you know, like, I don't know, like, see, I again, like, you know, I love to talk to these dudes, Uppercut Editions, because I don't know 100%. I don't know if they needed the funding to finish it too. There's that as well. I don't know. But if they didn't, and they're simply just going, hey, you know, this is what we've created. What sort of fucking amendments did they have to make? Like, what exactly would Warner Brothers be saying in there? You know, oh, you can't mention this. We can't. Fuck off. It's fucking. If it's part of Mortal Kombat, it gets mentioned. This is what I mean, man. Like corporate cucks. You know, just a fucking useless. I wouldn't be giving up, right? Even if it meant that, you know, and I look, I know, because if I worked on something, I'd want to try and make money out of it too. I get that. But as a Mortal Kombat fan, Jesus, man, like, you know, I wouldn't want to be giving up on this, right? And like I said, there are ways to get paid without getting paid, if that's possible, right? As long as that's not illegal. I'm pretty sure it isn't. That's why, like, you know, people accept donations for things and stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's just a shame. And like I said, this worries me for the fate of MKTR, because, you know, it seems like Warner Brothers were completely against moving on this. We know Joe from, you know, I keep fucking forgetting this company that he works for, right? Ballistic, that's it, right? You know, has had sort of issues, you know, on getting this done. And it's a real shame because there are talented folk like you guys, right? Like the team with Joe that's working on MKTR, who are Mortal Kombat fans. Like they fucking bleed, right? MK, right? Purple Outworld blood, hot katana girlfriend, right? They got it all, man. And then fucking corporate dickheads come in, right? And you're like, I just want to, you know, I just want to make something that the fans will love. And obviously, they were trying to go the right way about it. Again, you know, sort of like looking back to this part here, you know, lengthy and drawn out review process made it very clear against any attempts to move forward. No matter what alterations we offered to make. I'm curious about the alterations, right? I want to know what they're talking about with the alterations. So anyway, I'll leave it there. It's just, you know, it's just tragic. It's just tragic. But like I said, hundreds of websites out there have what you're doing, if not more, in terms of what the content is. Do you understand where I'm kind of going with that? Right, if they, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll leave it there. That's a shame. But yeah, catch you next time.